You know, what if I told you that some of the most talked about art in the world right now wasn't made by a person with a brush, but by an algorithm with a giant data set? We are smack in the middle of a creative revolution, and it's forcing us to ask some really fundamental questions about what it even means to be an artist. And to see just how real this all is, we need to look at a portrait of a man who never even existed.
So take a look at this portrait. It feels kind of familiar, right? Like something you'd stumble upon in a museum, maybe from the 18th or 19th century. It's called the portrait of Edmond de Bellamy. The catch? Edmond de Bellamy isn't real. He never existed. And the artist who painted him, that was a machine, an algorithm that was trained on 15,000 historical portraits.
And then the art world put a price on it, and it was a big one. In 2018, this piece of code-generated art sold at a Christie's auction for almost $500,000. Suddenly, this wasn't just some quirky experiment anymore. This was a serious statement about value, about art, and about technology. The stakes just got very, very high.
Yeah, that sale pretty much forced everyone, artists, programmers, you name it, to ask a question that honestly used to sound like something out of science fiction. Can a machine truly be an artist?
So, to start, let's look at the really optimistic view here. The idea isn't that this is about replacing humans, it's about unleashing a totally new, unprecedented era of creativity. We're talking about the promise of literally infinite creation.
And look, this isn't some far-off hypothetical. It's happening right now. For the first time ever, you don't need years of technical training to bring an idea to life visually. Brands like Nutella are using it for mass personalization on a scale that was unimaginable. I mean, 7 million unique labels. Or look at BMW, feeding an AI 900 years of art history just to see what kind of new ideas it could spark. It just goes to show you this tech is already a super powerful tool for everyone.
But how does it actually work, right? How does a machine go from just lines of code to creating something like that portrait we just saw? Let's take a little peek inside the digital mind.
So, the key technology behind a lot of this is something called a generative adversarial network, or GAN for short. The name sounds super complex, I know, but the idea behind it is actually brilliantly simple. Just think of it like an artistic duel between two AIs. One is the artist and the other is the critic.
Let me break this down for you. First, you've got the generator. Think of it as an art forger, trying its best to create a new painting. Then you've got the discriminator, who is like an expert art historian who has studied thousands of real paintings. The generator makes an image, and the discriminator judges it, real or fake. The generator takes that feedback and tries again and again and again, getting a little bit better every single time until, finally, it creates something so convincing that the expert discriminator can no longer tell the difference.
So, okay, the machine can make art. That's clear. But is it actually being creative? This is where the whole debate shifts from the technical to the philosophical. Are we witnessing the birth of some new kind of consciousness, or are we just looking at an incredibly sophisticated parrot? On one side, you have pioneers like the AI artist Mario Klingemann, and his argument is pretty provocative. He says, hey, human creativity isn't as original as we like to think. We're all just remixing our own experiences and influences. A machine, he suggests, isn't bound by all that. It can generate ideas from pure data, which could be a form of creativity that's maybe even purer than our own. But on the other side of the coin, you've got a really powerful counterargument. The writer Ravi Singh calls it what a lot of artists are afraid it is: high-level, sophisticated plagiarism. The idea here is that the AI isn't creating anything new at all. It's just mashing together millions of existing images so cleverly that we can't see the seams. It's mimicry, not invention.
This comparison really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? Human creativity, well, it's often driven by our lived experiences. Joy, curiosity, even pain and suffering. It's all about asking these imaginative new questions. Machine creativity, on the other hand, is driven by statistical patterns. It doesn't ask what if, it answers what's the most probable next pixel. It can mimic understanding, but it doesn't actually possess it.
And this debate isn't just some academic thought experiment. The rapid explosion of AI art has opened a total Pandora's box of very real, very tangible problems that we're only just now starting to grapple with.
So, what is the real cost here? The price tag for this progress touches on pretty much everything, from our ethics all the way to the environment. Maybe the most fundamental issue is the fuel that powers these AI models in the first place: data. And a lot of the time, that data is sourced from art created without the artist's consent.
To learn how to make art, these models scrape millions, sometimes billions of images from all over the web. We're talking professional portfolios, social media, you name it, and almost always without the artist's permission and definitely without any compensation. Just look at the fantasy artist Greg Rutkowski. His unique style became so popular in AI text prompts that if you search for his name, you'd find more AI-generated fakes than his actual original work. It was literally burying him.
So, beyond the data, there's the question of truth itself. As these tools get better and better, it becomes so much harder to tell what's real and what's fake. This is the deepfake dilemma.
I'm sure most of us saw this picture of the Pope in this crazy high-fashion puffer jacket. It went totally viral. Millions of people thought it was real. It wasn't. Or what about that fake image of an explosion at the Pentagon that actually caused the stock market to dip for a minute? It's a perfect example of how easily these images can be used to spread misinformation, blurring the line between reality and fiction on a massive scale.
And then there's a cost that most people don't even think about. Training these enormous AI models takes an incredible amount of computational power, and that power drinks up huge amounts of energy, contributing to a pretty significant and mostly unregulated carbon footprint.
And finally, we get to the fear that is on every creative professional's mind. Is AI coming for my job? I mean, the threat of displacement is very, very real. And this isn't some problem for the future. When Marvel Studios used AI to generate the opening credits for its show Secret Invasion, the entire animation community was outraged. They saw it as a direct threat, a sign that studios might just choose to automate creative jobs to cut costs. It all boils down to this one question. Is AI an empowering new tool for artists, or is it a replacement that ultimately devalues human skill and artistry?
But what if this whole versus framing is just wrong? Maybe the most productive way to move forward isn't human versus machine, but human plus machine.
There's a really useful way to think about this that comes from cognitive science, which separates problems into two types. First, there's the easy problem, which is all about optimization, finding the best, most efficient solution to a problem you've already defined. AI is absolutely brilliant at this. But then there's the hard problem, deciding which problem is even worth solving to begin with. That's problem formulation, and that requires human vision, curiosity, and context.
And that leaves us right here. AI is an optimization engine. It can spit out answers, variations, and options at lightning speed. But it can't tell us what questions to ask. It can't give us the intent, the soul, the why. So as we build this incredibly powerful new creative tool, the most important question isn't what the machine can do, it's what we, as humans, will choose to do with it. What should we ask it to create? That's the real challenge and the opportunity that lies ahead.